It's magical family time. This is Deanna. Today I thought I'd do a Vlogbrothers style reflection on the Disney Family Museum in San Francisco. Museums are interesting places because they're history holders and educators, and yet there's often a lens or point of view being shared. This museum is derived from the private memorabilia collections of Walt Disney himself, as well as those of his children and other family members. It has some history of the family and of Walt, like these old photos in Midwestern towns that set his turn-of-the-century Main Street aesthetic. It also educates the public on animation techniques of the past, including these very relaxing videos about color, as well as the multi-story camera that gave Sleeping Beauty its visual depth. But it also has a lens, an assumption that everything about Disney is good. And while we would consider ourselves huge fans of so many of his creations, there's no doubt that Disney was and is more complex than simply a purveyor of goodness or a maker of magic. I remember this point most clearly as we looked at the gorgeous scale model of Disneyland, and the volunteer guide said this.
Hello everyone, welcome to our model of Disneyland. Just a little info while you're looking at it. This is not Disneyland for any particular year, so it's not opening day and it's not today. All the projects you see in this model are projects or rides that Walt himself worked on, even if he didn't get to live to see it be built, like Space Mountain. So you might say the timeline is 1955 to 1977, but the park never exactly existed like this.
We were being awed by something that has never existed. Every section of the model was true in part, but to model Disneyland was too complicated in one fixture. Similarly, in a little corner of an upper room was a display about Disney art during World War II. Used in American propaganda, most of the works on display seemed benign. There's a poster reminding women working in factories to eat healthy breakfasts, because you can't work like a horse if you eat like a bird, and a film explaining the real enemy number one, mosquitoes who carry malaria, without addressing the superior race mentality of the Nazis. Even in Donald Duck's De Fuhrer's face, makes it hard to refute the rumors of Disney's anti-Semitic beliefs, although his anti-Nazi work is abundant. In the animation area, there are beautiful multimedia representations of Disney movies. I literally welled up at the sight of Peter Pan. It itself is a fraught work, despite its enormous impact on the Western canon and, honestly, in my own heart. I was excited to see some imagery from Songs of the South, since this blatantly racist tale of slavery has been locked in the metaphorical Disney vault my whole life. But instead of addressing the movie's sins, it shared its accolades, including awards. But this is the Family Museum, where the family is sharing the story of its highly accomplished patriarch. And isn't that what families do? We tell our stories, glossing over the hard parts, and highlighting the joys for the next generation. We elevate fun, like these weird lawn sculptures that are also recliners out in the sun, and we stick the sadness in the darkened hallways, like all of these cartoons about Walt's death. I loved the museum, from its overpriced sandwiches to its free water and coat check, to its generosity to the public with its things. I can only hope that as I pass on treasures and stories from my family, I can be as magical with my own children. But maybe I can shine light in the dark hallways as well, because there's truth and treasure for them there too. Aloha nui loa.